Morning. It's Emma Davis from veterinarycareers.com.au, and I'm really excited to introduce you to Bhima Thapa from Nepal, who is a final year vet student in Nepal. Welcome, Bhima. So I'm Emma Davis. I'm a veterinary career coach. I'm a veterinarian of 20 years, and I'm a veterinary business coach as well, and one of the founders of veterinarycareers.com.au. And I'm pretty stoked that I found Bhima on the other side of the world doing similar interviews and similar content. So let me tell you a little bit about Bhima today, and then I'm really excited to talk to her about the work that she's doing for veterinarians and veterinary students over in Nepal. So, Bhima is a final year veterinary intern from the Agriculture and Forestry University in, no, I can't say the word, Chittagong. What's the, is it that right? In the university, yeah. So the one university in Nepal that does a veterinary college, and it's very prestigious to get there, so it's pretty exciting. And Bhima was recently appointed as a senior promotion intern at the One Health Lessons, which has the goals to educate and make people, children and adults, aware about One Health. Bhima is also a content creator, as I mentioned, and uses her social media platform to inform and engage young veterinarians and other young people about the veterinary profession. Bhima is an active advocate for animal welfare and is the former president of the Vet Students for Animal Welfare Group, which is a not-for-profit student organisation, and has also done some really cool work around the environment as well. So I'm really keen to ask about that as well. So thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome, Bhima. It's amazing to have you here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Emma, for that lovely introduction. Well, you have already said a lot about me, and I recently got appointed as a senior promotion intern at the One Health lesson, which I'm very excited about. And yeah, a bit of content creating on, using my time and using my platform to create contents that are helpful for young veterinarians or even graduates. And yeah, so that much. I think that would be
that's
great.
fantastic. So I met Bhima on LinkedIn and was interested in the work she does, and we had a chat, and then she told me about her Instagram, and straight away I went and found this Instagram, and it's amazing. So as I understand your story, you started Instagram to showcase women veterinarians. Is that right? Would you like to give us some background about this experience and about the Instagram feed now? It's really great.
Sure, thank you so much. Well, it was on 8th of March. That was International Women's Day. And I felt like, because every year on the 8th of March, I feel very empowered. I kind of feel that sense of feeling that, okay, I'm there, I'm here to make difference. And I wanted to deliver something to the world. Like, we have so many veterinarians, especially women veterinarians, that are working, but much of the people here, even in the urban areas, don't know that there are veterinarians that are women. And especially the young veterinarians or the young veterinary students, they do know there are some, but they actually don't know, haven't connect with them. And I felt like that this would be best to connect with these veterinarians who identify as women, and let them share their word, what they have been doing, and how they have been so far. And it was very much important for me, and very exciting as well. And I remember that day reaching to my first speaker, and she was very humble and welcoming. And we did our first show, which was a Choose to Challenge. I named with according to the theme itself. And the movement was so encouraging. It was very much, filled with passion, and seeing a women veterinarians speaking for the first time through Instagram Live in my platform, it was very much exciting. And through then I continued. And for the whole month of March, I interviewed 4 women, 4 veterinarians who were identified as women. And from then on, I felt like I think we need to extend a little bit more. So I started interviewing other veterinarians as well, and it has been quite a good journey. Yeah.
Excellent. And so what is your audience like? You are interviewing people to showcase the veterinarians in society, so first women and then lots of different veterinarians. And is your passion like mine to show about the role of the veterinarians, or what is your message that you're sharing about veterinarians?
Well, I first it was on uh, the whole month of March. It was more about empowering young veterinarians, letting them know that there are women as well who are working in the field and that are veterinarians. And from the following, then it's more about strengthening the profession, where I call guests or speakers that are excellent in their field, and then let them share about how they have been to this profession. For example, I just interviewed Dr. Nirvik Nirpani, who is a military veterinarian, and for a lot of young veterinarians, or like a lot of community in the veterinary community in Nepal, they don't know how to get in the military veterinarian itself. So it was very important for me to share that information, because I think that the veterinary community here is very much timid. The share, there's no not much of sharing community. So having him who has been there and sharing this information, how to get in the military, what kind of responsible and roles are expected for a veterinarian in the military sector, was very important. And since then, so it's all about how to get there, what kind of roles and responsibilities are required, and that way strengthening profession, as well as pacing that, what we say, like a way for the young veterinarians to see what they're expecting, what they can do in that kind of field. So yeah, but
Right.
I also like plan to have the kind of session that are important for the pet owners, because they're very much confused about when to vaccinate, how to deworm. These are kind of basic things. And I think I will deliver something on for the next 2022. Yeah.
Great. That sounds great. So that's a bit of a future project to do some
Yeah.
education. Yeah,
Yeah.
great. And so, what has been the response to your work? Are you getting messages from the veterinary students? Tell me about that.
Well, I did not. Firstly, I did not expect for someone, like coming to me and saying. But when I did this kind of session, like it was very amazing that very young veterinarians like DM me in the Instagram and said that this whole interview was very informative. They call me Didi. Didi is like sister in Nepali, and they say me that it's very informative, and please do these kind of as well, so that I want to get some knowledge on that. They like specifically tell that me also, and it's a I felt like my audience were mostly the young veterinarians. But when I go on the gatherings and see my seniors, and they are like, "Hey, I saw this your last episode, and it was very impressive, and I really enjoyed it." And I felt like, "Oh, did you even watch it?" And that's like,
Great.
I expect you to, but then they are like, "No, so, like you're doing something very good. Please continue." And we don't have this kind of thriving community, and it's very important that you being like starting this one. And yeah, so the comments and the responses have been very much encouraging for me, and even I see myself developing in a different way. I was very, I wouldn't say I was a very shy person, but yeah, but I wouldn't do like this much of speaking before I did the Instagram live. So it has been a very good response from all of them.
Great. That's really good. And so, in your leadership, you are really passionate about animal welfare as well, and you've had some leadership roles around animal welfare. So, for the Australians and the other international audience that I have, could you tell us a little bit about Nepal and animal welfare and how you've been helping animal welfare from your social media seat and your veterinary student seat, please?
Well, Nepal is a very lovely country, I'd like to say. But few years back, or let's say, it's been 2 or 3 years that we have been reported a lot of animal cruelty cases. Um, I would again like to state that we have been reported, because before that year, maybe like these cases were might not have been reported, but they have been actually being there. So it was very important for me that I delivered something from my side to these voiceless animals. And in 2020, in 2019, so I got this opportunity to lead a non-profit organization that was Veterinary Student for Animal Welfare, which is a student-led group in our university that works on informing, educating, and awareing young veterinarians as well as the local farmers about the animal welfare and its importance. So I was the former president of that organization, and in a whole year, we engaged more than 250 plus of young veterinarians as well as
Yeah.
150 plus farmers. And since then, the main agenda, or let's say the goal, has been delivering about animal welfare. Why is it important? Why is it important to treat animal in a good way? um and beside that, I also use my social media platform, if like to be very vocal about these kind of issues that are happening in our society. And I've been linked with a kind of two or three groups, youth-led groups, which actively works on this animal welfare, rescuing and treating them. So it has been very much you know satisfying, but I wouldn't say satisfying, but because there's so much to do, you know there's still a lot to do. The work that I've been doing is just like 0.01 of percent, and I feel like there's so much to do. And yeah, the future holds a lot of things for us, and especially for a good place to live with the animals. Yeah.
Yeah. You're amazing. You're doing some great work. It's really good because not only animal welfare, you're helping your veterinary colleagues and students, and you've also been working on the environment as well, haven't you? And so, what's it like to, how do you step into this leadership that you're showing? Tell us about the environment work that you've been doing, and I'd love any thoughts that you've got about how to be brave and be the leader. You're a very young leader, and it's amazing what you're the change that you're making already. So I'd love to hear your wisdom about that. So tell us about the environment work first.
Thank you, Dr. Emma, for that. Well, it was in 2018 I went to South Korea for my internship. So there I was like a technical internship for Save Korean Dog, which is in a Gimpo city of South Korea. And there I worked as a technical volunteer and for a month.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is like help rescue dogs from dog meat farms, and then bring them in and then help them foster and be adopted to different parts of the world. So when I saw that, I felt like, okay, even animals which we here in our country, like treat them as pet, treat them as our family members, are treated there as a food in a different country, and with differing ethnicity and depending upon the kind of country they belong, the treatment to animals are very different. So for me, it was very eye opening, and felt like it was a realization point for me. And then I went on a plant based diet. And when I went on plant based diet, I researched a lot about other things, what like the plant based diet does. And then one important thing, like another like you know the breakthrough was for me was that it also adds value to the environment. And then I was introduced to a lot of environmental stuff, sustainable living, more like minimalistic living. And then I felt the importance of that as well, to add value to the environment, and I've been doing it since the past 2 years. I make sure that I don't buy impulsively, and go for a more minimalistic approach, as well as and engage with organization. For example, I'm the chapter president for Zero Debris. So is a non-profit
Zero
organization.
debris. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a non-profit organization that was first founded in US, in especially in California. So what it does is like go to the different places, public places, and then pick up the trashes and the litters. But now we have been going to more holistic approach, like educating the audience, educating the people about why it's important to save environment, conducting webinars that are important from the climate change maker itself, so that it has an impact, and telling people about how sustainable living and how minimalistic living or any environmental or eco-friendly living will help the planet a little bit. So yeah, that's what we've been doing, and I think it's been quite a good journey. Discovering about yourself, how even a little things that we do on a daily basis affect the environment itself. Yeah.
Mm. So what is the how do you get those messages out to the community? So you are educating and helping the community to understand why it's important to have zero debris and to pick up and to have a nicer environment to minimize the waste that goes out there. How do you get the messages out to them?
So we have been working on this project itself. So what we do is organize the webinars through the website, inform the people about it. I'm so sorry, it's my dog. Is it?
It's okay. It's fine. It's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we use the social media platform. We have our Facebook page and Instagram page for the Zero Debris, and that's where we deliver our news, the information like on this day, on this particular day we are going to this event, this location and doing the trash collection, and the next is on this day we are having our webinar. Please join, and we
Mhm.
also recently enrolled interns for like fresh interns
Mhm.
that have been helping us doing the administrative work,
Yeah,
and it
great.
has been quite, yeah.
Oh,
So that's
that's
how it's gone.
amazing. Good on you. That's amazing. I can't wait to introduce you to some of the vets in Australia who are working on these projects as well, on these topics. So we can link you guys together and
That would
maybe speak at each other's events or something, whatever is a good fit for that. But there are some very passionate veterinarians in Australia working on this as well. And also in England, if you tell me who you want to know, I have many people working on it. So it would be great to hear more about the animal welfare and that sustainability for the environment. Great work that you're doing. That's really going to directly help
thank you so
society as well
much.
as the vets. Yeah, it's great. Okay, well, that's really great. So we met on LinkedIn. So I'll make sure I add all the links where you can find Bhima and her LinkedIn profile and her Instagram and watch some of the great interviews that she's doing as well. Um, and so I have one more or two more questions. I was going to say one, but I've got two. So one question looking forward, what is the vision? What's your, you're doing great things already, but what change would you like to see in the veterinary profession? That's one question. And I haven't prepped you for that one, sorry. And the other question is, what advice would you give to a younger version of you, to your younger self? So you tell me which one you want to answer first. That's fine. So, what's your vision for change in the profession, and what advice would you give to your younger self?
Thank you, Dr. Emma. I think I would like to go for the vision
Ah,
first.
good. Okay.
So I think, no, I think, but I will be doing something that will help the veterinarian community, the growing veterinary community. Because during my internship, or let's say during my undergraduate, I struggle a lot, finding those opportunities, finding these clinics or like, shelters and for the clinical experiences. Nobody told me about it. I just went, I searched myself. I let them, like, let myself out there and then said, okay, I want this and that. So for a lot of, and I also feel that I was very privileged enough, to be in this state and afford that. And I think, but everyone is not that much of, um, you know, not privileged, but in the position to have that kind of opportunity. So I think, and I see myself, you know, having this community or having this organization maybe where the veterinarians, the growing veterinarians know what kind of opportunities are there for us, and where they can go, and what are their, the dimension of the veterinarian, because it's very much very unaware. We are very like we haven't seen the world about what veterinarian can be. For us, it's more like typically based on only having yourself in a clinic, but there's much more that the profession has to offer. So building something that is, so my vision is like building something that gives the young veterinarians the opportunity to explore and to know what's there in the future and what kind of things they would like to do from there. So I think pretty much that. And regarding the so the final question was,
Yeah.
what
What
advice
advice?
I would
Yeah.
is to the young veterinarians and whoever watching it would be explore. Just explore more, because a lot of time we have been been said that you belong to this criteria, you belong to this corner, and the the exploration part is very limited. But until and unless you don't explore, you don't know what you thrive in, or you don't know what you enjoy. um, so I think the very much advice during the undergraduate especially would be explore, do what you want to do, use media, or if you are very good in media or public speaking, use it. You have your platforms, you have your own social media, you don't need any opportunity to wait for. You just have to have put the right content, and you have to reach the right people, and then that's your show. You can make your own show, you don't have to wait someone. And if you want to do clinicals, go and find shelters, or have connection with those animal welfare people. They're very much like welcoming to us. We belong from a technical background, yeah. So just explore as much as you can, because there you find yourself, there you find what you want to do, there you find what kind of audience you want to target, there you will find yourself being the best version of yourself. And I think we lack a little bit of that, especially in our Nepalese veterinary community. But I would say, just be yourself and do what you want. And if you have your own hobby or interest in something else, and if you can mix that in your veterinary profession, that would be awesome. And I think so. Yeah, explore.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well done. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. I really admire your career so far. You're doing an amazing job. So thank you very much for spending this time with us to tell us about the work that you're doing. How can people find you? What would they prefer? Do they want to reach you on Instagram, or how would you like people to reach out to you if they want to?
Well, you can find me anywhere, through Instagram, through Facebook. You can also connect me in LinkedIn. That would be very much helpful as well. In the YouTube, so anywhere. And I think Dr. Emma will put the information there. So please feel free to connect and drop a hi. I would love that.
Awesome. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, great. Keep up the amazing work. So, okay, thank you, Bhima, so much. So, this has been Bhima Thapa from Nepal and myself, Emma Davis, for veterinarycareers.com.au. And I'm so excited about the future of our profession when we have amazing heart-led people, veterinarians and veterinary students who are working so hard for our environment, for animal welfare, and for our profession. So I'm really excited and glad to have shared this time with you. So thank you. All right.
Thank you so much, Dr. Emma, and I really enjoyed this interview. And thank you for approaching me. And I approached you, and we found ourselves on LinkedIn. I really enjoyed this network, and thank you so much for this interview. I loved it.
No worries, that's fine. Well, we'll stay in touch, and everybody else can sign off now, and we will see you at the next interview. Okay, love your veterinary career.